So far, you've learned how to create a sequence, import your media, edit that media, organize the media, clip, cut, move the media, add some effects, and do things like that. You know enough to be dangerous with the media. Now I'm going to show you the other 50% of your project and how to mess with the audio. Audio can get kind of confusing, especially if you're recording on multiple devices. So right now I'm recording audio on the camera. I'm recording audio through an external device called the Rodecaster Pro, and I'm also recording audio on the computer through my screen recording. When I import that into Premiere, I have to be able to synchronize audio, and what that means is to line up all three from the camera, the external, and computer software so that the audio matches, so my lips match the sound that you hear. Let's go ahead and open up a project and let's get started. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to do a new project here. I'm going to call this, well, this is going to be tutorial number 2. Tutorial 2. I'm going to save this into my iCloud under tutorial number 2. Okay, classes. For some reason this is not right, but whatever. We're going to lesson 2. We're going to save it here. You can see all my files are in a folder. The video and audio, the screen grab, and also the Rodecaster Pro are all in one folder. All of those files, also any of the screenshots that I use that I show you where the tools are and things like that are all in there as well. So this time, instead of creating a sequence, I'm going to go ahead, and I know that I am using the settings from my camera. So I'm going to open up my classes. I'm going to open up tutorial number 2, and the first one I'm going to drag in is the video with the audio. So you can see that there. The next one I'm going to drag in is just the audio, and then I'm going to drag in the screen recording. Something very important, remember when I told you before that the tracks are like pieces of paper, so whatever is on top is what you're going to see. So now I'm going to drag this up, and we can see the tutorial. I am going to expand this all the way out, my toolbar, so you can see. Now, if I go over this part here and I play back, you can see that the audio is not matched up with my lips at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of this. I'm going to drag it to the right. In order to synchronize your audio, you can do it one of two ways. If I zoom in here, I can line these 3 points up because you can see that they should be lined up. That's the long pause and then the start. I can do that just by dragging and selecting or putting markers at the beginning of the of that clip. And then I can do that manually. Or I can let Premiere do the work for me. But what I have to do first is you have to drag it away from the start because otherwise it doesn't give it enough room to manage it. So I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to hit synchronize here. And then I'm going to make sure I have audio selected and click OK. It's going to take a minute to process. Okay, now my audio is synced up. And now what I can do is I can select these 2 tracks and I can delete that audio because I know the green audio is from the Rodecaster Pro. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold Option. If you are on a Windows computer, you can hold Alt. And I'm going to select one track at a time, one audio track, and hit Delete. If I don't hold Alt, what's going to happen is it's going to select, or Option, it's going to select the audio and the video, and it will delete both. I don't want that. I just want to delete the audio. So if I hold Option on the Mac or Alt on your Windows, and I select both of those and hit Delete, now I just have that one clean audio source. Now you want to line these up so that they start and stop together. And now it sounds way better. So now that that's working and I have that lined up, that's fantastic. At the end, in one of the extras, I will show you exactly how I edit one of these tutorials from start to finish, and you can watch that, how I go in and I clip out the audio, how I can see the audio, and all of those type of things. So when I'm working with my audio and I'm trying to take out any breaths or any pauses, you can see right here, if I zoom in, you can see this flat line here is a big, long pause. So what I would do is I will hit C on the keyboard, I will select it, and then you got to make sure that you select these also, and then you hit the V button, and then you select these, and then you just delete them. And you click in between, and you can delete and pull them together. There's all sorts of ways to do that. Whatever works best in your workflow is the way to go. The way to get these to stay together so that they don't move freely and you don't screw it up is to select them all, and then you're going to right click on them, and you're going to click either link or group. Okay, link just links them. So if I hit C, it's going to cut through all three instead of just one. If I hit group, I'm still going to have to delete each track separately, and then I'm going to have to select each one or click and drag. But link will keep it so when you click on one, all three are selected like that instead of just like this here, because if I moved this, my lips are not going to be on with the audio again. Let me show you the two effects that I use the most for audio. So if I go over here, parametric equalizer is right here. I'm going to drag that on to my clip. Again, with the audio, if you drag an effect onto the clip, you can go right over into the effect controls panel, and you can see the parametric equalizer is already there. I'm going to click edit. This is a talking voice, so I'm going to go down and I'm going to hit vocal enhancer. Here's the thing, it's not going to make that big of a difference on this because I recorded on a Rodecaster Pro, so the audio is pretty phenomenal. However, you can mess with this based on what you're trying to get. You can try and make it sound like you're underwater. You can do all sorts of things. The other effect that I look for is dynamics. And what this does is I'm going to put this on there as well. And I'm going to go to the effects controls panel again. I'm going to click on edit. What I do in the preset is I do soft compression. I put a limiter on it, and then I drag this to -3. That way, again, I'm recording on a Rodecaster Pro, so I don't really need to do this because it has a limiter. It's not going to blow out the audio. But in case you ever see that, this is how to change that. And when you're playing it here, you can see right on the side how it goes up and down and it never peaks out. And that's how you want to handle your audio. That's just the basics. You can get way more in depth with it later as you get used to this. I hope you found something interesting and helpful in this video. We've now done pretty much everything that there is to know to do a basic editing, and in the next videos we're going to ramp it up a bit. I will see you in the next one.